officials going to get things underway. There's an attempt at a Reebok roar. It's not exactly the fullest this stadium has seen over the last 10 years, but it could be a high old night for Bolton Wanderers. A win here, and they will be set fair for a place in the UEFA Cup after Christmas. Aris Thessaloniki will start as very much second favourites here tonight, you would have thought, but they are a useful outfit. Fourth at the moment in the Greek Super League, and it's only the three superpowers from Athens who are actually ahead of them. Olympiakos, Panathinaikos and ειχε of Athens. They are leading the chase for the sake of the rest of the country.
Although they scored 3 goals in the last European game, they've lacked firepower this season. Only 8 goals in the 9 games that they've played.
It's Wilhelmsson, who's all too easily dispossessed by Neto. The sliding challenge from Gerald Sid, just putting a little bit of pressure on the Aris side. If they're able to clear downfield, Ramete will pick it up. McCann, back to Nolan. There's Davis, well, it's beyond him, and connected instead by the Brazilian Ronaldo. And here's another Brazilian Neto. There are almost as many Greek players in the Bolton side tonight as there are playing for Aris. Karamboulos, back to Ronaldo. His name's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it, in terms of his nationality? Here's Neto. Tony Calvo. Went over because of the challenge from Gerald Sid.
Started off quite pacey in the game. They're knocking it around, both sides, pretty neat and tidy. Just trying to suss each other out.
They have a bit of pedigree in this competition this year, Aris Thessaloniki. They did beat Zaragoza in the first round to reach the group stages. That's no mean feat.
I think technically they look very, very good. They can knock the ball around. It's how far they can actually knock it around. Further up the pitch can they do it to create the chances that you need to get through to the next round.
There's their coach Dusan Bejovic, the former Yugoslav World Cup striker. It's aimed in the penalty area for Davis, but it's away easily enough by Pritas, who's making his full debut tonight. Athanasios Pritas, after his summer signing from Iraklios. Here's Mate. Again, happy to play a bit of football inside his own half, but blocked away by Nevagleras.
Just taking a few chances at the back there. Mete, he's done it just prior to that. Really just needs to concentrate on his defending.
Well, one of the men he's up against tonight, Sergio Koke, they were teammates at Marseille 3 or 4 years ago. This is Nicky Hunt. Stelios looking to make his mark, only his second appearance of the season in Bolton colours. I think you would have put him down as a near certain starter for this game, wouldn't you?
Well, he's one of them that always gets chances in the games when he plays. He's a good timer of the ball coming into the box.
It's O'Brien's free kick. Davis looking to wrestle a position, and then the shot coming in from Danny Guthrie. Couldn't keep it down. It's in amongst the Greek supporters.
Yeah, it was hit a little bit quickly, more quickly than maybe he would have liked. Body angle's a little bit wrong. He's all opened up. No chance of hitting the target.
He's on loan this season from Liverpool, is Danny Guthrie, and those who've watched Bolton frequently this year will tell you he's been a very, very good performer on a regular basis. And here the Greeks have a chance to break with Nevagleras. It's Koke in the middle who's hoping for the ball. It's Calvo out wide. He'll get the second attempt off the shins of Sid. And Sid will block it away for the first corner of the night to Aris Thessaloniki.
Well, it's a good break by Aris, but you know, really it's their own fault as well. Bolton, Sid just coming in a little bit too soon there with the centre forward, allows the winger Calvo to break free. Giving away the corner. Good defending in the end, though.
Well, the measure here is that the Morites kick the corner flag. Oh, what happens next? Play on. Well, what's the referee going to do? The linesman on the far side was happy to play on.
Well, this is... I've not seen this. I mean, he's touched the ball, surely. But has he touched it twice? Did he hit it onto his other foot? But that's...
Remember the old football magazine Shoot, and the feature they used to have, "You are the referee."
I've seen it a couple of times, playing myself. I think Imre Varadi was one that did it.
Well, this referee has decided it's going to be a bounce ball, and in the spirit of the moment, it is just handed back to Jussi Jääskeläinen.
Maybe the referee was a little bit unsure what should happen anyway.
That'll be one for the Anoraks. Jääskeläinen's huge boot. Back to whence it came from Neto, but here's Mate. Jääskeläinen's under a bit of pressure here, but cool-headed and quick-footed. Guthrie. Here's Sid. Well, they weren't sure whose ball that was, but Guthrie eventually takes responsibility for the moment. And now Stelios getting a bit of a jeer from the Greek supporters. Off the chest of Davis, cleared away by Ronaldo.
There's a great crossfield pass by Guthrie. Stelios does well as well to come inside. Plays a lovely ball into Davis.
Sid's back past to Jääskeläinen, who's been under more pressure from his own teammates so far tonight. Neto. Pritas back to Neto again. Oh, and Neto's continued the run intelligently and with pace. Similarly, alarm bells are ringing for the Bolton defence. The header is going to be off target from Koke. And that was an opportunity that really shouldn't have been allowed.
Well, it's a great opportunity. Neto doing well here. But really, it's committing yourself to the tackle. Missing out, not staying with the runner then. And then Neto gets away. Lovely cross into the box. Don't quite get a right connection on the header. But they're looking quite strong. Aris going forward, causing Bolton a few problems with a little bit of pace, looking to get numbers into the box. They've got to beware.
Well, the Greek supporters are making all the noise at the moment, aren't they?
Well, they've not stopped for the last 45 minutes.
There's about 1,000, 1,500 of them who've made the journey from Thessaloniki.
We're looking at team selection. No Haji Diouf, no Anelka, both on the bench. Here's Gary Megson looking more forward to the Premiership game at the weekend against Liverpool rather than this game.
Well, three of the players who are playing tonight will not be involved against Liverpool. Nicky Hunt, the right back, and Kevin Nolan in midfield are both suspended for that game, and Danny Guthrie, who's on loan from Liverpool, will not be allowed to play.
Well, there's a bad clash of heads there, and it's Nacho Garcia and McCann, and McCann's walking straight off, obviously realises he's got a little bit of a problem. Need a few stitches there, no doubt. But McCann really going for a ball really that I don't think he's going to win. He's thrown his head on the back of Garcia, and he's come off the worst. Well, that's a nasty clash there. Can't believe Nacho Garcia's not come off as bad as Gavin McCann. I'm sure Gavin McCann's going to need straight away. He's walked off the pitch, Gavin McCann, to require that treatment.
Well, Nacho Garcia's got a bit more natural covering there, hasn't he? And Gavin McCann. Well, they're both down to 10 men for the time being at least. Here's Wilhelmsson. Gives it back the Greek way. They're going to have some sore throats in the morning already. They've produced a terrific atmosphere. It's a good job they're here too, because Bolton fans haven't turned up in quite the numbers you'd expect of a side that have recently beaten Manchester United and drawn away at Bayern Munich.
And you would have thought 10 years ago supporters at this football club would be coming out in the droves if they were in a European competition.
And it's a night when momentum can be achieved by Bolton. The home rule would have helped. This is O'Brien. Won by Nolan, the skipper. Davis, not quite as far as Stelios, but he might get a second chance here, though Ronaldo had it covered. Don't forget you can text us tonight with your opinions. Text us on 80088. Text the word comments plus your name, your views, where you're from. 80088. Messages charged at 25 pence. Well, it looks as though McCann has played his last here. Mikel Alonso is about to come on in his place. Here's Ronaldo, looking for a bit of width here, and the skipper Nebagleras has that. Calvo back on the inside, but it's further back towards Neto. Here's Nacho Garcia, having fully recovered. This is careful stuff by the Greeks. Can they provide a punch? It's Neto who tries to cross. It's knocked away by Wilhelmsson, but it will be another corner. They are living up to their reputation of playing some neat football.
Well, that's where all the problems are coming down. Coming down Bolton's left-hand side.
It's drilled in low. Not supremely dealt with by Nicky Hunt, but it's at least repelled momentarily. Tony Calvo, the Spaniard, is going to take this again. This time he hits it with a little more gusto, and it just caused a few palpitations in the Bolton penalty area before Abdoulaye Meite is able to clear it away. And by hook or by crook, they have a throw in.
I haven't started yet, Bolton. Aris really up for this game, knocking the ball really brightly and positively going forwards and down the right-hand side for them. Calvo and Neto causing all sorts of problems in this first 11 and 12 minutes.
Mikel Alonso is getting full instructions, isn't he, before he eventually comes on, but that will be a bit of a blow for Gary Megson to lose the man at the heart of their midfield so early in the game. Here's Neto. Now Pritas. Garambalas. Stelios in the way. And now the substitution is made. Confirmation that McCann has gone off. And Mikel Alonso will take his place.
He'll just slot in straight into McCann's position, like for like.
Free kick for Aris.
A little bit of a late challenge there by O'Brien.
Well, there's obviously a seriousness to McCann's injury that he's been replaced so quickly. No chance of a quick stitch or two to patch him up and get him back out.
I think he knew himself the way that he walked off the pitch straight away.
Pressure here for Bolton. Tony Calvo will take this free kick. It's not the best. It just hits Stelios. It's picked up again by Neto. Not the best of deliveries. It will be a throw.
No, but they're just showing a little bit of concern for me for Bolton. Aris just playing with a little bit more belief in themselves. They haven't started yet, Bolton.
And again, we used the word momentum a little earlier. You would have thought it was with Bolton at the moment with their victory against Manchester United. Aris, by contrast, lost for the first time domestically at the weekend. But it is the Greeks who are playing with a greater confidence just at this stage. Here's Papadopoulos. Back to Ronaldo. Garambalas. Nacho Garcia. Oh, it's given away, and a chance here maybe for Wilhelmsson on the right foot, but he has completely mishit. What an opportunity that might have been.
Well, his first touch has let him down. He's intercepted that well. His body position, everything about him was right. And he's ball across the defence line. He's read it well. He just doesn't get onto that second touch right. Maybe could have reacted a little bit quicker to get his shot on target, or even just get a shot in.
This is Ronaldo. Here's Garambalas. Neto. We saw Gavin McCann limping off a little earlier. How bad is he? Dave Beckett is down on the touchline with the latest news. Dave.
I think the good news, Dave, is no concussion or anything like that. Just spoke to the physio and he said it is a nasty one. Obviously several stitches. He's down in the dressing room still being treated at the moment.
I guess no risks taken ahead of the Liverpool game.
No, I think it's depending actually where the stitches have been, inserted really. Depending on how serious it is. But I should imagine that somebody like Gavin McCann will be fit for the weekend.
Here's Nacho Garcia, who was involved in that collision of heads, but plays on. Nabagleris out to Neto. That's a nice little interchange again. It's chip forward towards Koke, but Meite was just in the way of it. Here's Koke again.
He's made some good runs as Koke. He's just pulling off Meite's shoulder, trying to get in behind him. It's got to be a perfect ball, but he's still trying to get in there. He is on the odd occasion.
He is very much their star man, Sergio Koke.
Well, he does pull off into some good positions. Just got to be aware of him. Brian and Meite.
Dusan Bajovic, by some distance the most successful coach in Greek football for the last decade or so, just watches on his side, who are trying to play themselves out of their own half and doing it very effectively. Very effectively. Here's Garcia again. Assist on just ahead of him. Nabagleris had made the run up towards the edge of the penalty area, but it's played back towards Papadopoulos, and now Neto. Here's Pritas. Full debut for him tonight, remember. Papadopoulos. Made off by Koke and picked up again by Nabagleris, who looks at wide and finds another willing runner in the form of Calvo, whose cross is a good one as well, but nobody there providing too much of a threat, but a corner conceded nonetheless.
Well, the threat's all coming down the right-hand side for Aris. They're just getting in cross after cross, and it's this man once again. It's Calvo who's done the damage. Just nobody in there. It's a great ball, whipped across.
Calvo himself will take the corner. And the Greeks are ready to celebrate.
I just wonder how many warnings you're going to get before something does happen. It's happening all down the right-hand side for the Greeks.
Well, Ricardo Garner would be the first choice left-back for Bolton, wouldn't he? But going to Gary Megson is carrying a bit of an injury, so Gerald Sid is playing there instead. But having said that, Garner didn't play left-back in the Bayern Munich game, did he? He played a more forward role in midfield. There's Guthrie. Stelios sniffing an opportunity, and he handled that right under the nose of the linesman. It's a bit of a giveaway.
Yeah, I think it could well have been booked as well.
And Banas to strike. Meite is solid. Pritas gives it away, and now Bolton have a chance here maybe. Guthrie. Wilhelmsson. He's got Sid on the overlap, who collects now, despite the challenge of Neto. And straight out of play for a goal kick.
Well, really, that's a little bit poor from Bolton. Wilhelmsson really should have waited for Sid to join him to go on that overlap, because he'd exploited the Neto, the right back, and they could have really got 2 against 1. He decided to go alone and ends up losing the ball.
Konstantinos Halkias, the goalkeeper, the current Greek national goalkeeper. Portsmouth fans will remember him from a few years ago when he had a handful of games in the Premier League and played in the FA Cup as well against Southampton. It was a couple of years ago. Didn't have a great reputation while he was here. Easy for Meite. It's a good ball by Nolan, but just skips away from Christian Wilhelmsson. But quick thinking from the Bolton midfielder.
Well, Guthrie's the man that can pull the strings in there. He's got the pass in him, can open up the game. Unfortunately, nobody's on the same wavelength at him at the moment.
Well by Meite on Koke. taken very quickly, but just as quick is the thinking of Jaskalainen, who spotted that very early and just as well too.
Well, once again, it's that man Neto who's the liveliest, and he's causing problems for Bolton. I mean, something's got to be done down that left-hand side of Bolton's. They've got to double up on him because he is a problem.
Davis wrestling. Neto beaten first time, but not the second. Header by Sid. Aris is dispossessed, and suddenly Bolton have the opportunity again here. Here's Wilhelmsen. The Greeks are flooding back in defence. Sid. Guthrie to Nolan. This is Hunt. Now Nolan again. Oh, the back heel attempted by Alonso. Made to look rather foolish in the end.
Well, they don't look as confident, do they, when they're on the ball? As do Aris do when they're going forward. They're all composed. But Bolton just a little bit rushed, and they are being closed down very quickly. And you just got to show a little bit more composure on the ball in the final third.
There's Davis, but Neto trying to do a job on him and being a little muscular in the challenge, which has given Bolton the free kick. Sid to take. There's something cooking here. It's Davis who looked to get a header onto it. It might have come off the defender. It has. That's a goal kick. It's a corner kick rather.
Well, he's just a problem, isn't he, when he's backing into people. He's got that power, he's got that strength, and nobody ever gets a clean header away. And it's two men there that's having to deal with him.
It's Guthrie across to take here. Right in front of those Greek supporters. That's a poor one. It's so easily read and headed away by Ronaldo. Here's Alonso. Aris, again a little untidy and almost gave it away. Guthrie still battling. Nacho Garcia. Aris who manages just to chip forward towards Koke to chase. There are two defenders there, but Koke's done well. The ball is played back, and he's only just wide too from Diogo Siston.
Well, that's great play. Koke making that run. There he goes, he's getting in behind. Comes inside, lays a lovely block to Siston, who doesn't hit the target. It's bending, but not enough.
Well, it has been an uncomfortable 23 minutes so far for Bolton Wanderers. Don't forget, the European football continues here on 5. Next Thursday we're in Brussels. Anderlecht against Tottenham. 7:30 we're on air. Guthrie. Stelios. And Davis. He's been trapped all the while by Karambalas. Calvo slipped. Here's Stelios. Well, now it's Bolton's turn to put a few passes together. How effective will it be in the outcome? Wilhelmsen. Sid.
Well, it's poor by Bolton. They can't get any continuity at all going, especially in the midfield three.
Here's Sid with a bit of defending to do. Well, Wilhelmsen was on his way, but he's going to be called back, and he's not sure why.
Well, every time he gets the ball, he looks a bit clumsy. Looks as if he's just going to knock the ball and go and try and get round you. I think he's just a little bit of a pull back on Neto. Rightly so. Referee's seen it. Free kick.
Okay, just putting a bit of pressure on Maite. This is Nicky Hunt. Davis just looking for a feather of a touch for Guthrie, but couldn't direct it his way. Nebagleris, 32 now, Konstantinos Nebagleris. He's got this reputation of being a real solid midfielder over the years in Greek football. Nacho Garcia in a bit of a squeeze, but Davis's shins give Aris the throw.
He's comfortable on the ball, isn't he? Nacho Garcia. He's quite happy having it when he's got men around him, nice and tight. Good usage as well, entices players to him and then passes it.
Halkias with the clearance. He's not been too busy at all tonight, has he, so far, the Greek goalkeeper? It's a quite clear handball from Danny Guthrie.
Well, this is a thing that maybe Bolton didn't want. They're a little bit second best at the moment. They haven't started right, and they're finding it hard to get to the pace of the game at the moment.
But you have to admire the way the Greeks are playing here, don't you?
Well, they've come out, they've been positive, they've passed the ball quickly, and Bolton have started off very, very slowly, and they're suffering because of it. And when you think about it, one chance really that Bolton have created, shot that went over the bar, but Aris have created numerous of chances, most of them coming down the right-hand side for them.
Aris, by the way, if you are wondering, any Greek scholars amongst you, it's apparently the name of the Greek god of war, or one of the Greek gods of war. Talking of which, here's Kevin Davis. And they're clearly here to have a good time, aren't they?
They're certainly making some noise. Maybe it's just to keep warm.
I think for the first time tonight we're actually hearing the Bolton fans lifting the volume a little. They haven't been given an awful lot to cheer so far. Here's Sid. Guthrie. Back to Gerald Sid. It's Nolan. Nicky Hunt. Stelios. Back for Stelios. Searches for Davis. And somehow Neto got in the way of it. And I'm not sure he knew how.
Well, Neto's done really well here. He's holding off Kevin Davis. Defending really, really well. But it's good play. Stelios in. It's a 1-2. It's a dink to the far stick. You think it's going to be a goal. But he just can't get enough on it, can Kevin Davis.
A little shot of confidence for Bolton, though.
Well, that's the best play yet.
Good header by Stelios.
Stelios and Guthrie.
He's beginning to feature now, isn't he, Stelios? And he'll get a free kick for his side here too.
Sometimes you need something to get you going, and hopefully for Bolton that's it. Just one little bit of good play, a chance, raises the tempo.
Guthrie, who will take this free kick. Neto solidly behind it.
Well, it just doesn't miss the first man. Ball in the box has got to be a lot better than that.
He's caught the eye tonight, hasn't he, Neto, the Brazilian? Here comes Hunt with a throw.
Well, this is the first bit of pressure Bolton have had.
The one local lad in the side, Nicky Hunt from Daisy Hill, just a couple of miles down the road, will search long, but it's cleared away by Carambaras. Here's Sid. He's asking a little for Abdoulaye Meite to clear with confidence.
Well, if that's one then they're away. It's Koke that's away as well. Just needed to be won the tackle. Outnumbered in Bolton.
We've played half an hour, it remains 0-0. Remember, Bolton's two previous games in Group F have both finished in draws too. At home to Braga, 1-1, and 2-2 famously in the Allianz Arena against Bayern Munich. They could do with a victory here. Only one game to play in this Group F against Red Star Belgrade. 2 points from 2 games. Remember, 3 sides will qualify from each of the groups. And Bolton are currently third, but they need a maximum somewhere along the line.
Calvo and Neto have got a great understanding down the right-hand side. If Calvo goes inside, then Neto just joins in.
Here's trouble. Nebagleras. Little touch inside by Calvo, and then towards the byline. I think that crossed it. Well, the linesman said no. It's going to fall for Carambaras on the left foot. Thankfully, from Bolton's point of view, miscued.
Oh, we'd like to see that one again if it does go out, but once again, it's down that right-hand side. Calvo, the man, gets it. Foot over. Ties in Sid to the ball. Gets there. Does it go out? I think it's just over.
All academic in the end.
Yeah. But once again, it's down that right-hand side. Like I say, Calvo and Neto have got a great understanding. Say Calvo comes inside, Neto joins in. And Sid's not really talking to his man in front of him, Wilmanson, to let him know what's happening. He should be holding his position.
Dusanbejevic, 8 Greek championships to his name as coach of AEK and Olympiakos and PAOK. Now with a much different job on his hands with Aris Thessaloniki, a much less fashionable club in Greek football. They've only won the championship 3 times, and the last of those was 1946. Pritas. Koke, whose pace is causing problems again. He'll hit first time, and maybe that was over-ambitious.
Well, it's his pace, but it's his movement more than anything else that's causing Bolton's problems. Got great movement, knows where to play off the centre-back and causing them problems.
Here's Alonso. Hunt.
Alonso's finding it hard to get into the game. He's come into it when it's a hectic pace. He's being closed down quickly. Thinks he's got more time than he has, and he's getting caught in possession once or twice.
Hunt's throw. Just over the head of Guthrie and hooked away by Nebagleras. Well, there's still a chance here for Bolton as Wilhelmsson collects. You can hear the jeers from the Greek supporters. Here's Nolan. Tried to measure one for Stelios Giannakopoulos, but overhit and out of play. Reminder, you can see all the highlights from last week's Italian football here on 5. 11:30 on Saturday, but the live game this week on Sunday, Fiorentina against Inter, 1:30 p.m. Hankias with a clearance. Stelios climbing and using his opponent to get a bit of purchase there as well. Arms around Carambaras, the Greek old-timer with the Greek newcomer, under 21 international Carambaras. Here's Nebagleras. Well, it ain't a classic.
Well, it isn't a classic because Aris are making a game of it and showing what they're made of, and at the moment they're the better of the sides.
Here's Nolan. Stelios. Now Hunt. Nolan who's chasing, and it might just fall almost for Stelios Giannakopoulos, but couldn't keep it in play.
Well, you just wondered if it goes on like this, how long that Gary Megson will sit there with Hajj Jufan and Elker on the bench. Because it's one of the games that, if you are to progress in Europe, then these are the games you need to win. And you would have thought 5 points, you more or less got there to the next stage.
Here's Hunt. Davis just tries to roll his defender, which is so effective. Hunt does well. Davis just gets a foot in and is able to palm it off to Alonso. Tell you what, that wasn't a bad effort in the end.
Well, that's a great strike by Alonso. Good work from Davis. The ball just comes, he switches it onto his left foot, opens up, just can't hit the target. He just hits across it instead of maybe trying to get his foot round it.
He's of course the older brother of Liverpool's Xabi Alonso. Eight minutes to half time. Bolton could do with a spark here. Here's Ronaldo. It's driven forward by Papadopoulos. He's put his side under a little bit of problems. They have been a bit untidy in defence, haven't they? For the most part solid, but when they brought it out, they have been profligate at giving it away.
Well, they're just getting a little bit overconfident and then coming out of the defence and they leave holes then.
Here's Pritas. Canambalas. Nacho Garcia again almost caught in possession by Guthrie and has to go backwards all the way to his goalkeeper, so a little bit of harrying and hassling is...
Well, he did ever so well there under great pressure from Alonso. Just steps across his body. Most people go down, try and get a foul. Nacho Garcia stays up, shows his strength, passes it back to the keeper.
This is Konstantinos Nebogladas. Here's Neto, former Santos player in Brazil. Papadopoulos hits it long. Andy O'Brien underneath it. Stelios.
Bolton have got to watch it because, like I keep saying about the right hand side, that Calvo keeps tucking in. As soon as he tucks in, Neto joins in, and all they've got to do is knock a hopeful ball sometimes just onto the right hand side for themselves, and he's going to get in because Sid's just over covering. He's getting sucked into a no man's land, shall we say.
And it's Davis underneath it, but he can't get that infamous first touch. One player who's not available to Bolton tonight is Ivan Campo, under previous manager Sammy Lee. He wasn't registered for this part of the UEFA Cup campaign. If Bolton do make the knockout stages, then they can redraw up their squad list and Campo can be involved. I think that was a reflection of Ivan Campo's perceived future at Bolton right at the start of the season.
Well, I think at the age that Campo is, then you can understand that. But when he's here and then you don't register him for Europe.
Well, that's a good tackle from Giannakopoulos. A little more tigerish than you'd expect from the Greek, and it's a measured ball too. Over the head of Guthrie. Sid's done well to keep the pressure on, and guess who? Neto is there to clear away.
He's done really well. As Sid, just wondered if he could actually pull that back a little bit.
Well, there's a bit of a Reebok roar at the moment. Just a bit of a one. As Bolton measure themselves for this corner, which Guthrie takes, and a touch from Davis, the goalkeeper. Certainly didn't expect that. Almost caught out.
Well, seemed very strange, didn't it? The keeper coming out there. But he just, the ball was so low. Was he not expecting them to stick a leg out?
Maybe he didn't see Davis.
Well, he's just standing in no man's land, and Davis just sticks a leg out, gets a touch. Fortunately, no Bolton players there to have a go at goal.
Could have gone anywhere. It's Matey. There's Davis. Nolan looks left, where Sid is making a run, but not quickly enough.
Well, Nolan's playing in that position that Gavin McCann played in, just sitting in front of the back four, trying to pull the strings, and unfortunately he's not got the passing prowess of Gavin McCann, a Gary Speed or a Campo. He's the one who likes to get on his bike and likes to get into the box.
Well, again, they're playing themselves under a little bit of pressure here. But Aris do escape this occasion with Ronaldo's long boot forward. Sid's header. Matey. Jääskeläinen was heroic for Finland, by the way, against Portugal in the European Championship qualifiers, but 0-0 was the outcome, which wasn't enough for the Finns to get through. The Portuguese did, but Jääskeläinen pulled off some fantastic saves that night. Here's Ronaldo, Brazilian, but his 10th season in Europe now. He's played previously with Benfica and Besiktas, so a lot of European experience. About a dozen Champions League games to his name too. Here's Papadopoulos. Karambaras. Well, it stayed in. Nacho Garcia. Neto. Nabaglaras is there too. Nabaglaras, little deep ball, but Matey has that covered. Alonso. There's Nacho Garcia. Now forced backwards, temporarily at least. Neto. The chance here for Guthrie to intercept, not too many in support. Stelios quickly up there to support his teammate. Now Nolan. Wilhelmsson will try to take them on the outside. Neto for once is beaten. Wilhelmsson is trying to get himself into decent position here. And he hammers it straight at the rather large frame of Pritas, and Neto is able to bring it clear again.
Just overdoes it. Really got a chance to put the ball in the box and doesn't deliver. Decides to go again.
Quite clearly a free kick. Now the referee says play on because the advantage was with Aris. Hasn't produced a card so far tonight, the Spanish official. That's good news for the time being. Karambalas with a decent cross. Goke was just beaten by Matey, and it might fall again for the strike of Tony Calvo. It was coming. 90 seconds to half-time. Aris make their breakthrough, and it is the Spaniard Tony Calvo who delivers a stunning strike.
Well, it's the quality of the ball into the box. Great bit of play. Out your feet, delivered it in. Goke pulling off his man once again. But there's that man, Calvo. He's caused Bolton all sorts of problems in the first half. The ball comes out to him. Sweet strike, right foot, volley, bottom corner. Great technique, keeps it down, bounces just before the keeper. And it's only what they deserve.
It's a wake-up call for Bolton. Tony Calvo with a timely strike. How quick can Bolton's response be?
Well, maybe it's what they needed. So they certainly haven't played well.
It's Nicky Hunt who will take the throw. Again searching long. Davis trying to lay it off. It's Nolan who tries to get in there too. And it will be a corner. There is still time in this first half. Guthrie tries to chip it up. Davis heads it on. Oh, it was very nearly the classic Bolton goal. Andy O'Brien off the crossbar.
Well, you're just wondering, how can he miss that? It's a terrific flick on by Kevin Davis. And Andy O'Brien hangs well. Lovely ball in. Man's all over him as well. Kevin Davis flicks it on. And I think he's just got a foot across his chest as he's headed it, yes. But you just think that's got goal written all over it.
Hasn't scored in Bolton colours, Andy O'Brien, and I don't think you get a better opportunity than that. But if you have to describe a way that Bolton score goals, that would have been it, wouldn't it? Corner kick, flick on from Kevin Davis, and then someone arrives to head it in.
Seemed a typical goal really for him, doesn't it?
And there are problems here. Greek supporters. One or two stewards had moved in earlier to remove one or two of those Greek supporters, and it seems to have excited a few tempers down there. But it is an isolated incident. Andy O'Brien is still shaken, but he failed to stir the Greek defence. Davis hoping for the free kick, but it comes too late in the half because the referee... Cheer us up, Kev. How do Bolton turn this round now? And can they turn this round now?
Well, I think they need to bring on an Elka, and as you do, it's important that they get goals, and you can't see it with the players they've got out at the moment. They need somebody instrumental in midfield to pull them strings as well.
As Davis looking for one of those familiar touches of him, but nobody there to collect, and Aris are able to clear. Not quite the end of the road if Bolton are beaten tonight. They still have a game, of course, against Red Star Belgrade, and if they win that, then 5 points might just squeeze them into the knockout stages. But far from satisfactory, the scoreline at the moment, and indeed the way Bolton have played against a very confident Aris Thessaloniki. There's just a sense that the tempo's lifted a little, though, in these opening seconds from Bolton in this second half. Maybe their manager's words still ringing in their ears. Here's O'Brien. It's a reminder of the Bolton lineup tonight. Jaskalainen back in goal, of course, despite the heroics of Ali Al-Habsi. And Alonso on the field now in place of Gavin McCann, who started the game. We heard earlier from Dave that he's got those nasty cuts on his head. Here's Stelios. He will get a free kick here, will he? Neto's not for giving the ball back, but the referee has given it Bolton's way. So maybe an early opportunity here for Bolton to strike. It's Guthrie who's going to take this. Davis, Nolan, O'Brien and Stelios are the four in the middle. O'Brien's already hit the bar, of course. Here comes Guthrie now. Well, didn't pick any of them out.
That's 2 free kicks now from Guthrie. I mean, he showed us he can pass the ball, but from a dead ball, 2 balls he's put into the box, he's not missed the first man, which is vitally important.
This is a learning curve for Gary Megson tonight as well, isn't it? As they alluded to in the studio at half-time. Not got a lot of experience as a European manager. Just the one game, albeit a 2-2 draw in the Allianz Arena. Not a bad start to your European campaign, but
well, sometimes it's a little bit easier away from home to choose your tactics and change your tactics than it is at home when you've got to win. You've got to go out there and enforce yourself onto the game.
Here's Nolan. That's a good solid challenge though from Pritas, who's left Nolan on the ground injured, and suddenly Aris have a chance to bring it forward as well. And Ambulis just running out of space a little, but they might work something here for Goke. Just dispossessed and Bolton bring it away. Nolan is still down injured, by the way. That's the reason why Davis will allow it to go out of play.
Well, he's obviously felt that. Kevin Nolan, it's a great challenge, good tackle. And he's finding it hard to get up. Pittas, the man getting in there, causing the problems. And I'm sure the last thing Gary Megson will want is any more injuries come Saturday. Well, come the weekend, anyway, definitely.
Nolan is suspended this weekend anyway, but even so, you wouldn't want anything longer than that, would you? Having lost McCann.
Well, there's a lot to be said from the side that's been picked. You know, you pick a side to play in the European football, and you leave your best two players out, attacking players. How do the other players react from that? Because if the manager's not picking his best side, then how do the other players react to that? Because, you know, do they feel that it's not important as well? Because if the manager's not picking them players, then obviously he feels that come the weekend's more important than this game.
Well, I suppose the answer to that would be what happened in Munich, Bayern Munich, where the whole side really lifted themselves. And Elka and Juve both on the sidelines tonight, amongst that seven-man bench. The crowd, the lack of a crowd here tonight doesn't help matters either, does it, from Bolton's point of view?
Well, the other thing is as well, if they know the manager's not going to be picking the best side, why should they come out and watch the team?
Manchester United came here and were beaten, and Bolton went to Bayern Munich and got a draw there, so I suppose Gary Megson would tell you that he does know what he's doing. Papadopoulos is the man who's gone down injured. He's actually Australian born, is Avram Papadopoulos, born in Melbourne. He's okay. And there's a coach with plenty of experience, Dusan Bejovic. He had a great success though in Europe. His best was with Olympiacos in '99 when that side reached the quarter-finals of the Champions League. For all his success on the home front, he hasn't really produced in any European campaign.
Gary Megson's just changed it at half-time. He's gone to a 4-4-2, trying to put more pressure on the back four. Stelios, the man going up front to pair Kevin Davis.
Here's Sid, back to Mate. O'Brien, Stelios, does well. Here's Sid, oh dear, there's a pass to no one other than Neto. Wilhelmsson with a clattering challenge, and Neto is able to clear again. And a good stretch leg from Mate prevents that turning into something a little more threatening, and now Bolton can probe down the other side maybe. Here's Guthrie, Davis, hunts in full flight. Here's Davis again, Stelios in the middle, it's pulled back and behind Guthrie. Nolan can't get there either. A little more accuracy, and that could have yielded results for Bolton.
Well, the two midfield players a little bit square. That's a problem. One's coming onto it a little bit late. At least he can adjust himself a little bit, but two men out the game.
Well, there is a greater sense of urgency you feel about Bolton in this second half though, don't you?
Well, you just seem to be able to pressurise higher up the pitch. We're playing with a 4-4-2 system.
O'Brien's long ball, it's touched on by Davis. Here's Stelios, has Wilhelmsson in support. The Swede delivers off the right foot. Davis is in the middle waiting. Alonso with a shot that just crashes against Papadopoulos, but still an opportunity here for Bolton. The outstretched leg of Davis, and Stelios just for a moment sensed a loose ball, but Halkias was down bravely.
Well, he just needs a little bit more on that. The ball comes out to Alonso, just hits it, rebounds, comes out, smashed across the box. And I think Kevin Davis has just knocked it onto the defender, straight into the keeper's hands. But looking a lot better in the second half. There's a lot more urgency about them. And obviously with Gary Megson making that change, playing Stelios up front with Kevin Davis is a lot better at the moment.
Brighter, much brighter. We're not just talking about the Aris strip either. The Bolton performance is improved. Here's Maitek. Davis. Stelios is offside. One other game taking place in Group F tonight. Miroslav Klose has scored for Bayern Munich, who lead against Braga by 1-0. That certainly is good news from Bolton's point of view. Braga have only played once so far in this campaign. That was against Bolton when they drew, so they are 1 point behind Bolton at the moment. And Bolton will be quite happy for Bayern Munich to run away as group winners from here on in. If things stay as they are at the moment, it would mean that Bayern lead the group with 7 points after 3 games. Aris would have 100% record, 6 points from 2 games. Bolton would still be third, but with only 2 points from 3 games, and Braga and Red Star with 1 point and no points so far. There's still a lot of football to be played.
Could actually go through with just having 3 points.
Yes, uncomfortable for the moment. O'Brien is last man standing as far as taking the free kick is concerned. It's O'Brien's ball in. Davies trying to make a nuisance of himself again, but good strong goalkeeping by Konstantinos Halkias. He didn't get himself a great reputation those couple of years ago with Portsmouth, but hasn't done much wrong tonight. Not that he's been put under too much pressure so far.
He's not really had a save to make. I mean, that decision there to come out and get the ball, taking it quite comfortably. No problems at all.
Here's Guthrie. Davis. Oh, again, the touch just lets him down as Ronaldo put pressure on him from behind. Thank heavens that the 1,500 Greek fans have made the journey here, by the way. Otherwise, it would have been a pretty quiet Reebok Stadium. Here's Nevegleras running into an awful lot of space again in that left-back's position.
Well, the lack of communication there by Bolton, especially by Gerald Sid. He's just not talking to Maite. He should be passing his man on. He gets sucked in there, and it leaves that big gap down the left-hand side of Bolton. And really, they should have been punished a little bit more there. But it's not just once or twice it's happened in the game. It's happened time and time again, all in the first half. And that's the first time it's happened in the second half. And we're only, what, 10 minutes into the game in the second half. So he still hasn't learnt his lesson from the first half, really.
There's Nolan. Ronaldo on the chase. Stelios nips in, but only to give away the goal kick. Of stadiums tonight, 10,229 is the official crowd figure. And those are Bolton fans who are trying to match the enthusiasm of their Greek counterparts. Here's Siston, the Brazilian, one of several in the side. Tony Calvo, the Spaniard, has given it away. It looks as though he might have hurt himself as well, Tony Calvo. He's had a bit of cramp. Or has he just got a kick? Guthrie. Here's Davis. Wide right. Oh, that's not a good ball at all. Wilhelmsen. Gerald Sid has come up to offer his support. Wilhelmsen with a good ball in, and the keeper wasn't sure. He just got enough on it. Maite with a chase. Oh, coolly done.
Aris supporters booing a little bit as Calvo was down, and they were a little bit disappointed that Bolton didn't kick the ball out of play, but I didn't think they needed to.
Well, Calvo's actually gone off now as well, so the Greeks for the moment are a man short. Oh, untidy, very untidy. Kevin Nolan just lacking a little bit of concentration there in the middle. Here's Neto. Pass back to Ronaldo. That's the magic spray.
Just giving the ball away very cheaply, Bolton at the moment. They started well in the second half, just lost the way a little bit.
Tony Calvo's right foot has been the story of the night so far. It was a particular appendage which has given us the only goal of the game, and now he seems to have an injury too. He's going to be okay. Rather sportingly, there was a big roar from the Bolton fans there as Tony Calvo came back on. Well, maybe it was just a coincidence that as he came back on, Juve and Anelka were getting up for the first time tonight to warm up. Here's Pritas. Nevegleras. Okay now, isn't he, Tony Calvo? Running freely. Wilhelmsen does a good job of defending against him. as does Abdoulaye Maitek. That hit Davis's head as he was hit from behind. Free kick given.
Somebody being as strong as Kevin Davis there. Kevin gets the free kick. But I'm just thinking that you get this game won and you get it out of the way, you'll be able to rest players later on in this competition.
Here's Maitek. Well, the next game against Red Star, they have a particular resonance in European football, don't they, Red Star Belgrade? But 2 defeats so far from their opening 2 games suggest that they should be there for the taking when Bolton go to Belgrade in a week's time. This is Alonso. It's Davis trying to fly in, but beaten to it by Papadopoulos. Gerald Sid, brave with a challenge. Davis with a flick on. Sid stayed down.
It's 2 brave challenges there, and it's Papadopoulos as well. He won the header from Kevin Davis, and he's come out with Sid. Both men going for the ball. He's a little bit late. Actually goes for the ball, there's no doubt about that, but he catches Sid right in the stomach, or maybe a little bit lower than the stomach.
Upper thigh, I think, is the biological reference. Yeah, just there, he says, just there. You're okay. It's all right for the coach to have a smile on his face, isn't it? And this is the difference between the 2 sides. A moment of class and a terrific strike from Tony Calvo.
Well, he's been a major difference tonight, Calvo. Been a little bit quiet in the second half. He's very energetic, good movement, and he makes moves for other players to move into the space that he creates for them.
It's Javier Chavito, who looks as though he's going to be coming on. The young Spaniard. Tony Calvo, who got the kick a little earlier, might be the one to give way. It is Calvo who comes off. You can imagine he'll limp off. Doesn't look too bad at the moment, does it? Javier Chavito, who was actually in the starting lineup in the side that beat Red Star Belgrade. He was the one who scored the goal against Zaragoza as well, his countrymates, that squeezed Aris Thessaloniki into the group stages of this competition. So he has a bit of goal-scoring pedigree to his name too. Here's Neto. It's Koke. Neto's continued his run. Wilhelmsson with a clearance.
Wilhelmsson's done a good job tracking back there. Quite easy not to stay with the 1-2.
Well, listen to the noise that has been provided by that group of Greek supporters. Vito gives away the free kick. We haven't seen a yellow card so far tonight, have we?
Well, you seem more surprised than anybody, Dave, because of the number of yellows he's given away this year. Or given out, shall I say.
Well, 53 La Liga games in his career, and 27 red cards our referee Gonzalez has given away. It's Guthrie. Closed down quickly by Carambolas, who got a kick as well.
I'm just wondering how high Guthrie's... His head's low. How much contact he's actually made, I don't know.
Well, he's giving the impression of a man who's hurting at the moment. How bad it is, we'll have to wait and see. Well, we've seen a bit of blood spilled tonight, haven't we? Bolton fans are booing him, but I think if they could see the injury, they'd see it was worth taking off. Don't forget, more football here on 5 next Thursday. 7:30 we're on air for Anderlecht against Tottenham. Isn't that a UEFA Cup tie that has European football written all over it? We look forward to your company in Brussels next Thursday night. And Nicholas Anelka with just a hat to take off before we see him coming on. Here's Wilhelmsen. Alonso feeds it out towards Nicky Hunt. It's a purposeful run forward by him. It's going to be picked up by Stelios here. Davis in the middle. It's laid back for Nolan, who couldn't get the contact, or at least not the contact required.
I'm just wondering if there's too much pace on the ball coming to Kevin Nolan. Great ball by Nicky Hunt to the far stick. Comes to Stelios, who comes inside, just picks out Nolan. Wasn't too bad. Just maybe should have done a little bit better when it comes to him.
It's a double substitution, Juve and Anelka. Talk about here comes the cavalry.
Well, it's certainly what we've wanted, but definitely the crowd.
Well, Wilhelmsen will give way. Not had the happiest of nights, has he? And Kevin Davis jogs to the sidelines as well, having provided his usual muscular approach. How does he set up now, Kevin? Is it the two up front?
Well, I think Stelios will come on to the the left-hand side, and Anelka and Juve both will play up front. We still play the 4-4-2 system that he's gone with for the second half.
Here's Anelka. First touch. Suddenly the drift is towards the other end with another substitute. Navito, good challenge. Couldn't keep it in place, it.
Mite's looked quite composed tonight at the back, hasn't he? He's read every situation except for the goal.
Well, he's played his hand now, hasn't he, Gary Megson? There's not a lot else he can do here. It is quite a change. It's the case of sit back and hope. This is Neto.
Obviously you have to change your style of play. You can't just go route one up front with Anelka and as you do, you've got to play it a little bit more to feet in along the deck.
This is Juve. He's holding it well, and Stelios offering support. You want to free kick well.
He does well, Stelios, because he's not going to get the ball anyway. He just attracts the foul, takes it.
It's taken quickly, and here's Guthrie. Back towards Hunt. Just tries to screw it back. It's Stelios. He's going to be easily beaten by the goalkeeper. Vito can't get it forward and collected instead by Juve again. Here's Anelka. Chopped down. And we are going to see our first card of the night, and it will be a yellow for Papadopoulos.
Well, there's no doubt about that. There's only one thing in his mind there. And I don't think he's going for the ball. Feels he's got to make his mark on Anelka, and does it straight away. Off his feet.
Well, I think for the first time from a set piece, Abdoulaye Meite is coming up to join the aerial assault inside the penalty area. It's going to be Juve who will take it this time. It's a good one, and Meite with a header just wide.
Well, it just shows you put a quality ball in, you miss the first man. Meite going up for the first time, gets his head to it. It's a terrific ball by Haji Diouf into the box. I'm not too sure if that could have been a corner.
There was a claim for a corner, wasn't there? And the replay suggested it probably was. Abdoulaye Meite, by the way, has form in Europe this year. His one goal in this campaign was against Thessaloniki in the earlier round. And the foul was by Meite, but the referee says play on again, sensing an advantage, but it's not taken up on. The complaints from the Greeks are that it should now be a free kick, but the referee, having said play on, is happy to let it continue.
I think it was actually too long after the incident, wasn't it? But he's going to book now. He's going to book him now. Why has he stopped it to book the game? Why couldn't he wait until the stop in play? Poor decision by the referee.
He's getting a taste for it.
He's trying to catch up to his average.
He's getting into his rhythm here, this Spanish referee. Well, he has given a free kick for Bolton the other way, but the obvious booking was for the challenge a little earlier by Abdoulaye Meite. Here's Hunt with a free kick. Juf was in there. Goalkeeper just got enough on it, and Neto can clear away.
Well, he's coming for everything. Keeper, you hang that ball up in the box, he's come for everything, especially in the second half.
Very highly regarded in Greece, Konstantinos Halkias. Less so in Portsmouth. It's Sid, under the watchful gaze of his manager, who will take this free kick. Bolton still trailing, but maybe sensing that the pattern of play is just turning a little their way, although that wasn't the best.
It was in the air a long time. Kevin Nolan sort of asking the question. I felt somebody else should have been maybe following up behind him. They certainly stepped up the pace in the second half of Bolton, which they needed to.
20 minutes left to play. It's Anelka's touch, it's chased by Guthrie, who's done well to get between the two defenders and lays off for Stelios now. Anelka's making a good movement, but it's played towards Juf, just chipped away by Canambalas. And then on again by Siston, but only as far as Hunt. Well read by Ronaldo.
Well, they just need to be pushing on. The fullbacks just a little bit more when they're attacking, because if the ball does come out, they can pick it up again and just keep the flow of play going.
Britas and Neto. Alonso caught him. Neto again, not overcommitted here, Aris. Not too many men in Dago yellow up. And Bolton are able to repel and clear. Here's Guthrie. Alonso. Looking wide left for Juf, but it's Neto who heads away. And just a little bit of a roar rumbling around the Reebok again here. Maybe Bolton building a little momentum. Juf was rather disgusted with the movement of his teammates. And it's going to be left for the long one from Nolan. Abdoulaye Meite being signalled to get up there as well. And he came close once. He'll have to do it again.
A little bit more, not as eager to get it in the box with no Kevin Davis there.
Well, it's Meite who's playing that role and has done it sufficiently well to scoop it high. Stelios underneath it. Meite's there once again, but the defence was of a blanket nature, which is able to clear it away. Alonso miscues, and it almost allowed Aris in. Here's O'Brien, has to be tidy, and is. Just Skalainen's big boots. Chased by Guthrie. Not out of play from Canambulis. This is not necessarily good news from Bolton's point of view, because the other game in Group F tonight, Braga have now equalised. Roland Lintz with the equalising goal against Bayern Munich. And it would mean, if things stay as they are, that Braga would move up level on points with Bolton. They, though, having played only 2 games, Bolton having played 3. It would also mean that Bayern Munich have had a bit of a shaky start to this campaign too. a lot of people's favourites to win this competition. Being held again. Meanwhile, here's Stelios. It's a decent ball in, all heads turn to look and see who was arriving. Alonso was that man, but the defence gets it away. Here's Hunt, back again, Juff with a header in, Anelka looked for the touch, and it was Neto again who clears for his side.
Well, it's better by Nicky Hunt, getting forward.
Good play, Guthrie. Neto is the irresistible object in the Aris defence.
Well, that was better play by Nicky Hunt. Ball going in one side, he's squeezing up on the other side, it comes out, he picks it up, goes on again and then delivers a good cross into the box, which he should be doing more often.
Sid, Stelios, back to Sid. Nolan. Here's Hunt. It's a long one for Anelka, but Ronaldo gets there easily enough.
He's so nearly in. It's nearly a good ball.
Hunt to take. This is Guthrie. And Ombulas doing his best to keep him at bay. Has he conceded a corner? No, he hasn't. It's a throw.
Bolton having a good amount of pressure at the moment. Need to make it count.
Here's Juve. You know, you just get a feeling that Abdoulaye Meite is not getting the message here. He's stayed back on the halfway line there again, and one or two of his teammates were urging him forward. I think he is their go-to man from the throw-ins, and he's not getting up there to make himself available.
Yeah, he is that Kevin Davis type, isn't he, up front when he gets there. Obviously, it's a long way to go every time you get a throw-in.
This is Hunt. Lifted towards Juve. Anelka and Stelios in the middle. But it's a big task for him to get round that defender. And Aris, though, will give away the throw. Taken quickly. Here's Hunt again now. Neto, inevitably. And there's a potential of a counter-attack here as Garcia picks it up. There's a big run forward made by Javito, but Garcia couldn't deliver because he has been fouled. It's going to be a yellow card here for Nicky Hunt.
Well, that man Neto, he intercepted it, but then Garcia collects that. Nicky Hunt can't do much more than bring him down. Quite rightly gets a yellow card. But Neto for me has been fantastic this evening. He's read some great interceptions down the right-hand side. His link-up play's been good. His timing of his runs has been good.
It's Ronaldo towards Javito, and it's had a play for a goal kick. Sorry, Kev.
And also his defending. He does look like one that we're going to see. He's going to come a light on Europe, I'm sure.
And he only moved from Brazil, from Santos, in the summer, but he is 26. He's not exactly a newcomer in terms of age, but he has made his mark tonight, certainly. Here's Siston, inside for Nacho Garcia, the Bolivian. Nebegleras, and a bit of space to work in again. Sid's trying to keep track. Javito, up to Neto. Being tugged up by Meite. Back from Nacho Garcia. It's into the path of Javito again. Timely challenge from Sid. Anelka's going to chase. There didn't seem much hope when he began pursuit, and that's the way it proved to be. Goal kick.
Well, he seemed to think that it was going to be a corner. Good chasing down by Nicolas Anelka.
He's belied so much that's been written and spoken about him, hasn't he, Nicolas Anelka? You know, everybody was saying that he'd be on his way before this season began, but answered that by signing a new 4-year contract. There's a suggestion that he could still be on his way when the January window opens, but his work rate and commitment to the Bolton cause has been impeccable.
It was a big thing when he was at Liverpool, wasn't he? He only stayed there for the season.
Here's Stelios. Anelka's onside, but the ball's just ahead.
I think the linesman was waiting. If Nicolas Anelka would have got that, I think it was definitely offside. But no, there was a big debate when he did leave after that season, being at Anfield, that maybe they should have done or tried harder to keep him.
Neto has not been fouled. The referee says play on. Here's Anelka. It's Nolan who tries to measure it and wasn't far away.
Well, I think that just shaves the bar. That's a great opportunity there. Kevin Nolan side foots that. Does he keep it down? Just over the bar. It's the back of the netting. You could feel that could have been a foul there for Aris. But Anelka does well to hold it up. Kevin Davies does what he does best. Unfortunately not good enough tonight.
Anelka looking to challenge. It's picked up by Nacho Garcia, who's back to his goalkeeper Halkias. The Greek supporters, I'm not sure if they're whistling for the final whistle. They've got a long way. There's still 11 minutes left to play. And that's another crunching challenge in midfield, which has left Pritas down injured.
That's very late as well by Stelios. Well, there you go, Dave. How many yellow cards? None at half time.
This is the fourth. But it was a very belated one.
I think he must have played the advantage, obviously, but it was a late challenge by Stelios.
Well, the only player sweating on a yellow card tonight, by the way, is Gerald Sid. If he's booked, then he will miss the final game for Bolton against Red Star Belgrade. And we've got just over 10 minutes left to play. Sid with a header. Here's Nolan. Now Nicky Hunt. Stelios is the target. Collects it well. Nice touch too. Neto ahead of him. Stelios can't find a way through. Neto and Nebagleris again standing firm.
Well, Nolan just hesitates.
Guthrie dispossessed, no foul. It's 4 against 3 temporarily, though Guthrie's working hard to get back in position. Here's Nebagleris. Kanambelis. Wasteful.
Nebagleris doesn't seem to have the pace to get away from people, does he?
Alonso. Here's Sid. Anelka. Oh, Anelka's done well, showing plenty of enthusiasm and commitment for the cause. Hunt with a measured cross, Juf, but too close to Halkias.
Well, Halkias has done well on them crosses tonight. Any height in the box and he comes out and collects quite comfortably.
There's Neto's long ball. Jaskalainen arrived to the situation. He's not had much to do in this second half, has he? Jussi Jaskalainen?
No, not at all. That just shows you how Bolton have actually changed the state of play. They've been very upbeat. They've been a lot better.
Juff was looking for the impossible pass. Forward by Ronaldo, but not to where Javito wanted it.
Well, Javito there should really have pulled off. I'm sure if it was Koke, he would have done it.
This is Koke, but Maite has his beating. Nacho Garcia just swiftly away from Danny Guthrie and tried to chip Jaskalainen. My word, what a goal that would have been. But it was a terrific response from Jussi Jaskalainen to turn it over the bar.
Well, what a great bit of no back lift. Have a look at this. There he goes, he sees him off his line. But it's a great save by Jaskalainen. Everybody thinks it's going to go wide. No back lift, there it goes. Great save.
Well, Jaskalainen wants to hurry things on. That was a terrific touch from the Bolton goalkeeper. We were talking before about him not having much to do. Talk about a steely concentration.
And there's that man there, Garcia, going off. He's been a threat all night. Quality on the ball.
Spyros Govelos, who comes on, who is a central defender. Meantime, here comes the corner kick, which is rather wasteful.
Looks like Aris have just changed it. They're going with 3 centre-backs, 2 wing-backs, 3 in midfield, 2 up front.
Nicky Hunt carries it forward. 6 and a bit minutes left for Bolton to find some salvation here, to put their European campaign back on track. Hunt switches it left, but he's not going to find Stelios. Headed away by Neto and further out by Nebegleras. Could be a thrilling finish. At least if Bolton get their way. Jaskalainen. He was ahead of 4 of his teammates for a moment there. There's Juff. Mate. Guthrie. It's Juff. Easy one for Papadopoulos to defend. And he has conceded the throw.
I think the 2 strikers for Bolton there, Dufan and Elka, have got to stay a little bit more central. Both being dragged out wide, both together.
Here's Guthrie looking for the ball in, and Alka was waiting, but it didn't reach him. Sid. Mite. Juve has time to turn. Guthrie's still up there in support. It's a square ball for him. Driven across towards O'Brien. Neto gets away. Nolan finds it tangled in his feet and cannot pick a way through. And suddenly the Greeks can come forward with real determination. Here's Neto. Javita. Sid's back.
Good play by the referee. Seeing it wasn't a foul.
Gogolos with a header that cushions it back to his goalkeeper. Plenty more European flavoured football here on 5. Football Italiano on Sunday, 1:30. We're on air. Fiorentina against Inter is the live match of the day. There's Anelka, who couldn't quite get the touch. And they'll take all the time in the world now, just take the sting out of this game. Not that there is much sting in it at all at the moment.
Well, you just feel as if they'll take this result. That's why they make the substitutions, but they still look a threat going forward. Still got that pace.
Number 77 who's coming on, Anastasios Kyriakos, who was born in 78, so I'm not quite sure why he wears 77 on his back. Koke who's coming off.
Oh, he's made some good runs tonight, Koke. His timing of his runs, positional play has been very, very good. Instrumental in the goal by being in that position to put people under pressure.
Kyriakos is a midfielder, so again it smacks of shutting up shop now.
Well, they'll just play another extra man. It's going to be a 5-4-1 system, no doubt.
Disappointing night for Stelios on so many fronts. Not often he gets a chance to start a game for Bolton these days. Okay, Nixon won't have given it up just yet. Well, we're going to get another yellow card here. Flashed towards the man who's not been on very long, Gogolos. Two and a half minutes left to play, plus stoppage time, of course. There's a renewed sense of urgency around the Reebok now, but that throw-in was a little wasteful. Kyriakos putting it out of play. Here's Nolan. It's Juve who lays it off to Stelios. 4 defenders back there, it's Anelka. Guthrie hits it on the right foot and hammers it straight at Kanambalos.
just can't seem to get the shots off straight away. They need another touch, allowing the defenders to get there to get their blocks in.
It's the old Bolton style here. Long throw by Hunt. And it was won by Papadopoulos. That's not normally how the script goes here at the Reebok. It's going to be Hunt again. Mate is up there. It's O'Brien though who looks to get the touch. Again beaten in the air by that same man Papadopoulos. And the foul on the edge of the penalty area will give Aris the chance to waste a few more seconds and edge themselves still further. So what for them is going to be an excellent result.
It will be an excellent result, and they'll get it. If they get free kicks like that, it's very cheap to give away by Nicky Hunt. And let them make the mistakes, not you.
Giving it away. Got the chance to pull forward again here. Stelios. Diouf chases. Ronaldo's there. Free kick, or rather throw in for Bolton.
Diouf does well. Reads the situation, keeps the ball in play, keeps it alive.
Nolan again will aim it long. Bracing himself to hurl it into the maelstrom of that penalty area. Neto goes up with a header. And it's going to be Nemegleres who puts the big boot to the ball again and puts the pressure on the other end of the field on Nicky Hunt, who deals with it consummately. O'Brien's header, Neto there again. Here's Diouf. Into stoppage time now. Diouf with a cross, solid defending once more. There's simply no way through.
Well, there isn't, but it's the quality of the ball. Maybe it should have gone in first time.
3 minutes of stoppage time to be added at the end of the 90. We're into those added on minutes now. Neto milks himself a free kick. It's like a slimline Ivan Campo, doesn't it?
He's been outstanding tonight, the lad. Very instrumental in the team's win.
Well, it is a terrific noise that is being provided by the Greek supporters at the moment. And there's plenty of drift towards the exits all around the rest of the ground. But will they be halted here? It's played in towards Mate, who's in there but can't control. And Ronaldo will clear away.
Wrong man receives it, doesn't he? If that's an Elka, you're thinking that's got to be a goal.
This is an Elka, who's wide right. Alonso has to hurry. O'Brien. Spanish referee takes a tumble. This is Hunt. He's being urged to fire it into the penalty area. What on earth was that? Javito almost intercepted. This time Hunt is a little more direct. And Nemegleres again with a boot to clear. And the counter-attack is on here. It's been led by Kyriakis. A couple of Dayglow yellow shirts to aim for in the middle. Jeskalainen down solidly, but he'll have to hurry. We've got a minute and about 15 seconds to play. Alonso being urged forward. Hit long. Mate's still up there. Look for the touch. Might fall here. Little dabble into the penalty area by Anelka, but cleared once more. Headed back by Nolan. Nolan calling to service again, but it will fall this time for Papadopoulos. And an easy clearance, and Javito will try to hold it up. Hunt with a clearance. Plenty of whistles around the Reebok. It can't be long before the definitive whistle of the referee is going to be heard. One last chance. El Hadj Diouf to take. Alonso delivers. Over the head of O'Brien, it might fall for Stelios! Right man, right place, right result for Bolton. Of all the characters to deliver, it is the Greek international Stelios who stuns his countrymen and gives Bolton a lifeline.
Well, typical Bolton. Guthrie with the long ball into the box. Number of bodies in there. Nobody gets a header onto it. Ball's travelled a long way. That man Stelios there. It's not offside. Chests it into his path. And he just hits the target. But you must say that's hard done by for Aris. They'll be absolutely gutted. They must have felt they've done enough for tonight.
You could not have written the script better, could you? Stelios wears a huge smile and a big sigh of relief from his manager Gary Megson. Only his second start of the season, and Stelios Giannakopoulos, the old man of Greek football these days, will shake the hand of the young goalkeeper, his good friend, the man he's just beaten with the very last touch. My word, what an escape. And how disappointed are they going to be on their long trip back to Thessalonica? It was very, very late, but it's a point that might mean oh so much to Bolton's UEFA Cup campaign. They have drawn here against Aris Thessalonika, 1 goal apiece.
On one side, Greek tragedy. On the other side, a Greek triumph. It had to be Bolton in the UEFA Cup, didn't it? All the reaction that's possible to even be remotely seen is coming up after the break. Well, here's the shot that sums up football. The Greek man who broke Greek fans' hearts gets a standing ovation from the away fans, and that's because it was a last gasp equaliser for Bolton here in the UEFA Cup from that man Stelios.